Thank you very much indeed for speaking to us. So you're really the launch customer for the Airbus A320neo. This plane costs $6 million more than the regular A320. Is it really worth it?
Yes, we're absolutely convinced it's worth it. We're getting a 15% fuel saving with the plane. With fuel prices up at $90, $100, that's really quite a quick return on the extra investment. If fuel prices go up to $110, $120, it'll be an extremely good return. So it really does help make Virgin America even more competitive than it already is.
Can you tell me a little bit more about how you're going to finance these planes? Is Airbus perhaps providing backstop financing?
Virgin America's had no difficulty financing the planes because the airline's doing well, is well respected in the States. There's plenty of money around for financing planes today. So, financing is not an issue, and obviously interest rates are very low at the moment. So it's quite a good time to place an order for 60 new planes.
So if I can ask you about Virgin Atlantic now, what do you plan on doing with your 51% stake?
We will see. We would like to join a bigger alliance because with the competition authorities allowing British Airways and American Airlines to effectively merge, we're going to need a big brother, to take us through the next 30 years, and we are in discussions. So we'll see what happens over the next 12 months. So
there are a number of parties who have expressed an interest in Virgin.
I couldn't hear the question. Sorry.
I was asking you to clarify. A number of parties have expressed an interest in Virgin. Yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear. But I mean, we've had obviously we're talking to a number of the alliances, and I think that Virgin Atlantic will join one of those alliances, and we'll I'm sure make an announcement within the next 12 months. But we enjoy being independent, but we think that having some kind of alliance attached to Virgin Atlantic will make us that much stronger.
And Mr. Branson, if you can hear me, can I ask you that the parties that have expressed an interest, are they more interested in an alliance or actually owning a stake in Virgin?
I think most of the people we talk to are keen to have Virgin as part of their alliance, and I think that's the more likely outcome. Obviously, I enjoy. I enjoy our independence, and I've owned Virgin Atlantic since I was a young man, and would like to continue to do so. But we'll see how the talks progress.
But nevertheless,
but in the meantime,
yeah, I mean, nevertheless,
in the meantime,
sure. But do you potentially foresee a deal where you would lose control of the airline?
I think that's unlikely. I think that we'll be able to find an alliance which gives Virgin Atlantic the strength without loss of control. But anyway, we'll see how those talks go. But today, what we're particularly excited about is the Virgin America, which is really shaking up the domestic, airline market. Has managed to get a plane that's going to make it incredibly competitive in America, and I think can take us to 7 or 8% market share within a few years in America, and I think offer consumers in America a great choice. And anyway, that's what we're celebrating today. I'll talk about Virgin Atlantic in a month or two's time.
Mr. Branson, what about challenges in the domestic US market?
Well, I mean, the domestic market has always been challenging for airlines there, but I think it's been challenging because, the quality of flying domestically on the big carriers has not been good, whereas, with Virgin America is an exceptionally good airline in every respect. People go out of their way to fly it.
Yeah.
It's won, best airline award, 3 years in a row, best business, and so You know, so I think that's why we felt confident to order, you know, spend $5 billion and order 60 new planes. Having the most fuel-efficient plane, it's just going to make us that much more competitive with the likes of United and American.